I wasn't supposed to be home that night. The HOA thought my house was empty. That's why they felt bold enough to call the police. At exactly 9:17 p.m., I heard the sound of tires crunching on gravel, followed by the unmistakable click of radios. Red and blue lights flashed through my living room windows, painting the walls like a warning. I sighed. So they finally did it. 3 officers walked up my long driveway, hands resting near their belts. One of them read from a clipboard, while another scanned the property like he was expecting trouble. I could hear their radio crackle. Dispatch says HOA complaint. Possible illegal occupancy, zoning violation, refusal to comply. All lies. But the HOA president, Karen, had been trying to get me removed for months. She hated that my house sat just outside their authority line. Hated that I never paid their fees. Hated that I wouldn't bow to her rules. Tonight, she wanted revenge. I opened the door. The moment they saw me, everything changed. The officer in front froze. The second one stopped mid-step. The third actually whispered, "Oh no." Their confidence vanished instantly. "Good evening, officers," I said calmly. "How can I help you?" They stared at me like they'd walked into the wrong house. "Sir," the lead officer said carefully, "may I confirm your identity?" I nodded and handed him my ID. His hands shook as he read it. His eyes widened. He looked at the other officers. They exchanged looks that said, "This is bad." Sir," he stammered, we weren't informed you were the homeowner." "I am," I replied. "And I assume this visit was requested by the HOA?" "Yes, sir," he said, swallowing hard. "They claimed you were trespassing on HOA-controlled property and refusing lawful orders." I let out a quiet laugh. "That's interesting," I said, "because this land has never belonged to the HOA. In fact, I personally signed the boundary exemption when the neighborhood was built." Silence. The officers looked stunned. I gestured behind me. "Would you like to come in? I have the documents." They followed me inside, suddenly very respectful. As I laid the paperwork on the table, their panic grew. Zoning maps, county approvals, federal permits, then the final document. The officer's face went pale. "Sir, you're that person?" "Yes," I said softly. Turns out, the HOA never checked who actually owned the land they were harassing. Karen didn't know she'd just sent police, officers to intimidate someone who not only had full legal authority, but also oversight, connections that made false police, reports a serious offense. The lead officer exhaled slowly. "Sir, I sincerely apologize. This call never should have happened." "Oh, I agree," I said, "and I won't be filing a complaint against you." They visibly relaxed. "But," I added, "I will be addressing the HOA